Hey YouTubers and Resin Maniacs, welcome to the first episode of Out of the Box with Shakey Dave, produced and presented by Resin Maniacs. For our very first episode, we have a great kit lined up for you. A little something called Scarlett Beauty from Inner Sanctum Productions. Inner Sanctum Productions is Gordon Oberman, a avid modeler, great female figure kit builder painter, and lover of Vampirella. Let's get started. What we're looking at first and foremost is, well, pretty nice box. What I like about it, it's nice and plain, nothing fancy, and it seems to be like just a nice clean screen print of the model kit itself, which is based on Jose Gonzalez's famous door poster. If you look, you got the bottom and the top, both with a nice little screen print on it. And when you open the kit up, you find it's been very well packed with nice air pockets and everything's wrapped, and there goes the Terminator. So what we're looking at, for starters, I already kind of had to pull it out and check it out because, well, I was too excited. So I didn't wrap the bat back up. But there's her, well-known bat that she's rests and balances on her fingers. So what we're going to look at here is foam wrapped arms. And looking at the arms right out of the gate, we're looking at some pretty nice castings. Just a little bit of sanding here and there, and maybe just with a hobby knife you could take off that little bit of mold line. Not a whole lot to do here. No real air bubbles or anything like that. Here's the back to the finger. Let's do a quick check. And it fits real nicely. You have a key here on the finger, which what I like, that I noticed, the key is almost, when you first see it, you'd almost think that it is oversized, and it is. But what that does is it hides nicely in the bat, and it kind of alleviates the need for a pin. You can still pin it if you want, though, because the bat's body is, meaty enough to get like a little piece of paper clip you could use as the pin or whatnot. And look in here, you see just a little bit of the key left. That's easily remedied by cleaning out the inside of the bat here a little bit, or taking your hobby knife and shaving down the sides, a little off the sides, a little off the top, and it'll fit perfectly then. But I mean, it's almost perfect as is now. And once it's done, the illusion will be complete, and it will look like it's balancing on her finger. So moving right along, we're going to pull out, wrapped here is the head that I draw. And I gotta say one thing, so far the way this kit was packed, it was very snug. All the pieces were nicely packed and wrapped, but nothing was taped shut. And I like that. I don't like because I sometimes break kits or damage pieces when I'm trying to get the tape off. I prefer, because it's not going to unravel in the box. Just something to consider for producers may want to keep in mind. What we're looking at here is the head now. Now, this piece was produced and sculpted, produced by Gordon Oberman of Inner Sanctum and sculpted by Tony Cipriano. And they work closely together on this, trying to capture the two-dimensional likeness of the artwork into 3 dimensions. A lot of you in the hobby may know Tony Cipriano. He has sculpted for the garage kit hobby for, what seems to be a millennia, because, I mean, he is... he's been around for a long time, but he's also well known in the pre-paint world as well too. Tony's style is very almost the illustraty type style. He's very good too at doing real rough looking, like rake mark, tool mark type rough sculpture that has a lot of character to it, and he's real good at doing like real smooth and clean. He's just an all-around, like, I don't know if I'd say jack of all trades and styles and likeness, but he's very well versed. And it really shows on this piece here because it captures the original artwork very well. Just in almost the height of the hair, it just seems to have it almost looks windblown, but it still has just that nice, thick, lustrous look to it, like in the artwork. Then we're gonna open up here and check out the body. And I apologize for the sounds of the paper if it's affecting the microphone. And what you look at here with the body is everything, the head and the body, still very well cast. Once again, minimal seam line, minimal mold line here. Biggest thing you have here is two spurs here that seem to be like a support for the collar through the molding and casting. Dremel that in, saw that off, sand it down, your aces. Not really a whole lot of cleanup to the kit at all. If you really sit down diligently, pop on a movie and get to it, maybe an hour? I mean, because what I would do after I get all these seam lines off is I'm not a real big female builder, and I know a lot of female kit builders get real in depth with a lot of their sanding and putting. Me personally, I just get this very fine mold line off, and I take a fine sandpaper, and out of the gate I wet sand right away. Because you're just going to go ahead and clean it and polish it all at once. A lot of guys dry sand, then wet sand. I just do the one step because it's doing it all for you, you know. And you got a little flash up at the top of the thighs, and that's really about it as far as clean up for the body. Not a whole lot going on with it. And what we have here, you get in a small bag, or seem to be cast and pewter parts, her earrings and heels. And once again, much like the finger to the bat, they're almost over keyed. And you can see the large keyhole there, but this was really clever, Tony, right here, because they're over keyed with painting. I mean, they go right in, and as you can see, no glue, they don't even come off, but you know, of course you're gonna glue them in, but they really work. Now, they don't connect, oh wait, I believe I have them in the wrong, oh, I was right. Oh boy, is my face red. All right, they don't connect to the earlobes directly when I put it in. You see a little gap there. Me personally, I don't care. I just go ahead and paint it as is, but you could just use a little wire, a little piece of string dipped in super glue to stiffen it up to make a connection. It's whatever you prefer. And then you look here at the heels, and fine, nice thick keys. They go right in. They fit really well. And the way she stands, she does not stand on her heels, just like in the poster artwork, which I really like, paying attention to little details like that. Now, last but certainly not least is the base. The base was done by Tony because in the poster work it's just her standing there. And the base simply consists of a base and a nameplate. Very nice craggy rock work, sculpted by Tony Cipriano after Jose Gonzalez. Now I really like that, after Jose Gonzalez. So right there, Gordon and Tony are letting you know that they did this piece. It was sculpted, but it was after Jose Gonzalez, giving him some credit. And he does deserve it because this is truly an iconic piece of artwork. So we're gonna fit her on real quick. And what we're looking at here, if you notice, and if you look, this is what I like. Her keys don't match, her keys don't line up, which means you have to pull it over, pop it in. Why do I like that? It's solid. She's on there. Now, you could go ahead, drill through each hole, pop her in, and then drill up to pin her down for even more secure fit. But it's nice and secure. And like I said, the heels won't touch, which nice little attention to small detail. Another piece I like about small detail, now that I'm turning her in these lights and seeing the anatomy, is just how her body moves down, but I like the little kidney dimples. Does she have that in the artwork? Sure, why not? So, and also looking at, for paint-wise, what's really great about this being a female kit, because female kits are, well, they're kind of a chore to paint. This can totally be done in sub-assemblies aside from the right arm, because you have where this meets, you trim and shave all this down, you know, during your prep work, it's gonna lock right in to where it hides the seam naturally. Now it doesn't right now, of course, because there's a little bit of flash and whatnot on the connecting pieces, but once it does, it's going to be seamless. So you can then pin, and by holding the pin, painter, and then assemble it. You can also do the same thing with the head, which is a very good, very clever way of lining it up, because this is a hunk of head and it would be a headache to paint the back of her. Now, I'm not sure if the engineering was Tony alone, but we'll give Gord some credit too. We'll say he worked with him on this because he's a painter. And what we're looking at is the only thing, it would almost have it if her brass bracelet up here went all the way around, but you're gonna have to go ahead and putty and assemble that and paint it as you see here. But that's no big deal because not a whole lot is blocked here. But you're just gonna, and with the right amount of trimming and prep work, you won't even have to putty where the ring meets. All you really have to do is kind of putty where the flesh meets, because the ring's gonna make a nice natural seam. If you prep it correctly, you can pull that off. Now for painting, the style of the painting, you could do a nice cool toned female piece with real nice smooth airbrush, but the way it was sculpted, it also captures almost a real world feel. So that's what how I'll approach the paint job when I do it, is I'm gonna give her blemishes. I'm gonna start with a reddish meaty colored flesh tone and layer her up. Because of the way he sculpted the anatomy to the knees, to the elbows, to the fingertips, you could pull off a real world style paint job, or very easily just base it on the original artwork, or run your own way. And that's what I like. Even though it's a character, and a lot of times when you get a character, you're locked into a look, how it's gonna look. And you know, you're gonna have the red outfit with the black hair, of course, but with the flesh tone and the way you decide to go with your shading and highlighting, you're not locked in. And that's great. And this is a huge kit, by the way. 1/5 scale. And let's see. We're looking at, look at that, look at that. And we have a standard ruler here, and we see on the base, she is clearly well over 12 inches tall. Off the base, still clearly over 12 inches tall. One great thing about the base too is a removable nameplate. Simply fits on, say Vampirella, or if you're like me and don't like nameplates, you don't have to use one. Me personally, I won't, but it's your kit. It's however you want to do. And you're thinking to yourself, well, Shakey Dave, it's not my kit. How do I get this kit? How much is this kit? Well, this kit is $185. Let me double check my notes because I don't want to get anything wrong here. Plus $20 shipping. So that is really a heck of a deal for a kit this large with nice pewter cast pieces. Well, how do you get a hold of Gordon to get it? How do you get a hold of Inner Sanctum? That is Baja Man, BAJA 66 at Comcast.net. Double check. Baja Man 66 at Comcast.net. Gord is a super great guy, real easy to work with, and I'm pretty sure he keeps a couple of these in stock. If you do have to wait on one to get poured up, it won't be long at all. This is a wonderful, phenomenal kit. A couple times Vampirella's been done in this pose before. Didn't quite capture the artwork, captured the feel of it, but man, this is the artwork brought to you in 3 beautiful dimensions. So don't rest on your ass. Get up and get it, and or get one for a birthday, Christmas, anniversary. It's a beautiful piece. Thanks for joining us on our first episode. If you'd like to have us review a kit, please email us at resinmaniacs@yahoo.de. And again, thanks for joining our first episode. We hope to bring you many more. And if you're not a resin maniac, that's not our problem.